Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Key Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Kee To Growth Podcast. I am your host, Jen McKee, and I am super excited to talk to one of my favorite people today, all around community marketing, branding, AI. I had her on the podcast over a year ago, but you know what? Things change. Things change every year. Things change every month. AI is constantly changing. Like what works is constantly changing. So I thought it was time to bring her back. Today I have Crystal Williams from Lemon Seed. Crystal,
Hi.
if someone doesn't know who you are, maybe tell them who you are.
Oh, no, thank you so much. I adore you. We talk such the same language. So one of my favorite friends, and you're always rocking the purple and we're rocking the yellow. So we have friendly color wars, but
Complementary colors. They look so good together.
they do. So Crystal Williams, I'm the co-founder and strategist, basically for Lemon Seed Marketing. We started in about 2020. I exited, if you will, my family's heating and air conditioning and plumbing company. We had grown, my brother and I had grown the business, 40, 50% year over year. We hit a significant milestone. He felt like I could do the CMO, a chief marketing officer role for others. So partnered with my really good friend, Emily, who's a graphic designer, and we began Lemon Seed Marketing. And we've been going 6 years strong now, servicing over 150 clients across the United States in a fractional marketing department. And so smaller contractors, making it an affordable way for them to have a true holistic marketing strategy and building great brands. So that's what I do.
I love that. I love that. And you know, what you just brought up there is super important because I think one thing that happens is there's like so many options. Like what can or what should we be doing for marketing? Where should we be putting our marketing spend? How much should our marketing spend be? And like having somebody there to guide you is probably super helpful.
Yeah, because listen, this is what I'll say. This is what my brother was really good at. My brother is a fantastic operator. He gets people motivated. He understands pricing. He understands processes. And I mean, he understands how to run the business. And he understands marketing, but it was not his zone of genius. And so he did a really good job of he would give good direction of where he wanted the company to go, what he was willing to invest. And then I created the brand, the community name for us. I did everything I could to keep McWilliams, the name of our family's company, in the forefront. And right now, I know that, if I ask 10 contractors, marketing would be in their top 3 most frustrating things about running a business because you don't know who to trust. You don't know how to measure it. And honestly, most people are not creative in that way to know how to think outside the box. They're barely in the box. They barely have a box, much less are they thinking outside of it. And again, they think most of our clients, they think they're fantastic operators. It's just marketing is overwhelming to them. So our goal is to come alongside you and act as your marketing. We bounce ideas. If you have a crazy idea, you can bring it to us. We introduce you to strategic partners that we think serve your style of business. I mean, it is truly a matchmaker style project, but we love it and we have so much fun doing it.
I think that from operators that I talk to, there's literally people like you and I, Crystal, who love marketing. And there are contractors and operators out there that love marketing. And those of us that love marketing have a really hard time ever wanting to get out of the marketing seat because it's so fun. For me, it's the best part of my week. When is our marketing level 10 meeting? Let's dive into what we're doing for marketing. But then there's so many of you out there that are I know I have to do this. Obviously, I need leads and I don't know where to start.
Yep.
It feels like Pandora's box of like unlimited ideas and options and which one is actually going to move the needle.
Well,
So you told me, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, well, let me tell you about this one client. Literally, this is actually happening right now. So this one client used a very reputable company to rebrand. Okay. So they rebranded and then they came to us because they were like, we don't know what to do because literally all of their vendor partners were at odds with one another. So
Oh,
the
no.
rebrand company, the website company, his paid ads company, they were all like, who's going to go first? So the client was so overwhelmed with like how to launch his new brand that he panicked. And then there's like stuff flying everywhere. And we come in and we're like, hey, we're almost a peacemaker of why did the client feel so, hey, let's talk to the branding company. What is their vision? What is their vision for the website company? And then what is your paid ad? And then we kind of brought everyone together with a timeline and a structure.
Yeah.
Because all it is everybody had the client's best interest at heart for sure.
Right.
And
Right.
listen, I mean, you fight for what you know. So the paid ads guy was like, you're going to tank it. So we really had to really think through there. But there are so many good opinions. I'm not even going to poo on all the cool there's branding companies, but all the cool marketing companies. Honestly, we are a very blessed industry with so many good options
Yeah.
that we can use. It's just navigating which one of those fits your style, your communication style, your budget style, your, how fast you want to adapt. So many of these different vendors have a secret sauce that you have to buy into. So it's not that one's necessarily better than the other as much as it is like, hey, you like to go slow and steady. This vendor likes to go 100 miles an hour. That's not going to
Yeah.
be a good match.
Right.
Or, hey, this client was really forward thinking. They want all the cool AI tools. I should not partner them with some of the more slowed down approach to digital marketing. Like that's where we excel is who making them together and then giving the client, we work for the client. That's what I tell
Yeah.
them, like, we work for you. So we're going to advocate for you and what's in the best interest of your company because we are your fractional marketing department. So it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you said that one thing that you've been talking a lot about with your clients is like a marketing mindset. So why don't we start there? Because I feel like mindset is always the best place to start.
Yeah.
When we get our mind right, we can work on everything else. So what are you seeing there? What kind of conversations are you having around that?
Okay, so I will tell you that a marketing mindset is one of the biggest challenges that I have to help operators overcome. Because I see so many people get overwhelmed with marketing and they give up on it and then they start hating it. I hate to use those terms, but they despise it and they come to every meeting offended and on alert. And this is not about marketing tactics, right? The marketing mindset, it's about how I want the business owner to think before they ever spend $1 on advertising. So marketing doesn't fix a broken business. It really amplifies what already is in existence. And so if you have broken processes, a CSR team that needs support, marketing is going to amplify that to where you are like even more overwhelmed. But it also does great when you have true vendor partners that are not going to help you, that are going to help you not get in that boat. So, number one, I think it's knowing that marketing is not an expense, which people are like, yes, spoken from a true marketer who loves to spend money. But I think people think, well, marketing starts when I start buying Google ads. I challenge that immediately, right? The marketing journey, the customer journey starts as soon as someone is exposed to your brand, whether it's a truck, it's a social media post, it's your website, it's a community group. But every invoice, every technician, every wrap vehicle going down the road, sponsorship, anything, everything is marketing. And so it's not just a department, it's the true customer journey experience. So I have to get contractors to think like, yes, we are writing checks, but honestly, it's like we're making the ingredients to the perfect cake. And so it takes a lot.
This year, so the Kee To Growth podcast, this podcast that you're on, started off as a marketing resource. And so I was only talking about marketing on the podcast, talking to marketers, talking to marketing specialist and talking about marketing. And in year 2, I really, like, through all those conversations, started bringing in people who trained CSRs, who trained on sales, because all of those things impact your marketing spin, your conversion, and the raving fans that you have that make your marketing even less expensive. Like, you're so right about it being the full customer journey, because it's also about how people are answering the phone, how well they know that the offers that you have out there, how they can help guide people calling in into what all services you offer and how all they can help you. So I love that you say that. And I think that you're right. It's not just like the it's not just, of course, when they're spending Google, because you and I know that, like, that's probably one of the most expensive ways to get customers. And it is always going to be expensive to have to pay for these. Whereas if somebody knows who you are and they already want to work with you, it's going to be so much easier to convert them and so much cheaper to get that lead. But there's just so much that goes into marketing, which is why the Key to Growth podcast is all the
Yeah.
things now.
Well, and same thing, when I'd get on I literally started my podcast because I had so much to say. I'm like, I have so much to say. Nobody may listen, but by gosh, I'm going to talk about it. But, and like, it's also like intentionally creating your brand. You and I were visiting about this because hopefully we're going to do an episode together on my show about how both of us intentionally built our brands. And right now I'm like, listen, if you don't build your brand, your customers will build it for you.
Yeah.
And so like the other mindset is I need contractors to get away from like, we fix air conditioners or we repair plumbing, to we create comfort again in the home. We create a feeling that people remember. People rarely remember like little nuances when they really remember like how they felt throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
And then my third one, so that was my second one, was your brand exists whether you like it or not. The other mindset shift thing was stop chasing leads and start creating trust. So everybody starts off with me like, I need more leads. And I think a better question is more like, well, how do I become the obvious choice
Right.
before someone even needs me? And y'all, that is branding, and trust compounds. I use this terminology quite often, if you hear me speak very often, where 2 + 2 = 5, because marketing compounds on itself. Recognition compounds, community involvement compounds. Therefore, your dollars spent on paid ads compound, because it's the sum of everything together that makes a really good marketing campaign, a holistic marketing campaign. But where trust exists and where you build that up through reviews and through content that you're putting out there, marketing truly becomes less expensive, because people are not out there just going free agent in the market looking for someone. They're searching for you.
Yeah, that makes a massive difference. So that kind of leads us to my next conversation I want to have with you, which I think that you are one of the experts in this. So this podcast, we're here in July and we need to be thinking about Q4 already. Like, if we're not thinking about that, and what Q4 really lends itself to, and you said this before we got started, but I actually had an entire webinar around this in Q4, because I agree with you that Q4 is all about community events, because it makes it so easy. There is literally so much going on in everybody's community. And I want to actually start by saying this. Whenever somebody comes to us, they're just starting off. If I talk to anybody in literally any business, and of course, 85 to 90% of the people that I talk to are home service contractors, but sometimes I talk to other entrepreneurs that have other things. And my first advice to them is always like, get into your community. And it seems so small, I feel like. And I know that home service providers, a lot of them do fully know at this point how important it is to be involved in their community. But when you're just starting off and you're looking like you need a job, you need a sale, you need the next job, or when you've got leads coming in every day, and like, how much of a drop in the bucket is it really going to be for me to spend money going to these events? I still think that getting into your community and getting visible is one of the most impactful things that you can do
God.
at any size of your business.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. And then I want to talk like about how to get involved, because that's always the bottleneck, is people saying, I want to do it, but we haven't yet. So then, like, what is the next step from that?
Okay, so you're exactly right. I love everything you said, because community is the most slept on thing. And also, it is the key to overcoming bunch of a very populated market, okay, of a very competitive market. So, couple of things. I think this is one of Lemon Seed's biggest differentiators is we actually help plan this, but marketing is not just digital, right? So it's very much showing up. So sponsor a little league team, volunteer at food bank, support schools. A lot of people, Jenny, you know this, already do these things, but it's like
Yeah.
they do them in a covert mission way.
Yeah, they're, like, not leveraging it.
Well, they
It's
don't
like,
look
"Oh,
at
yeah, we do that."
yes, or they're like, well, then everybody's gonna ask us. Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. We've lost the purpose here. We need to be able to tell people no, but for good reasons. So here's my number one tip for people that want an excuse. Okay. My number one tip is to go ahead and define what organizations you are going to support. So, hey, at Crystal's Heating and Air, we support building homes for people in our community and food insecurity. That way, when the local cheerleading team comes by and is asking for a donation, you can say, actually, we allocate a lot of our support to food insecurity and, building homes. So unfortunately, this doesn't meet our budget for this year, but please get with me next year. That
Mhm.
gives you an out. It also allows you to do what you want to do, but it gives you an out. So if you're
And
worried,
you could even say, like, is there any of those organizations that you guys are passionate about? Like, you could then find oh my gosh, Crystal, you just hit on something so important, which is, like, the whole like, you're talking about niching down in who you support, but the whole thing about niching down is, like, when you know who you're talking to, it's so much easier to find them. So, like, when you can tell people, like, "Oh, this is who we support," you might find an even better connection just from, like, having that clarity.
absolutely. Like, and again, that clarity, I designed that at McWilliams for us to have the ability to say no with conviction that is correct. And so decide what that is. Are you about helping foster children, elderly, homeless, teachers, first responders? There's a million choices, but define it so that if you need it, you can fall back on it. So
You can
that was
also do I've heard one, I can't remember who told me that they did this, but where they committed to each member of their team that they would donate, like, $200. They
oh,
had
that
or,
was
like
us.
was it? Okay, I like that, where it was, like, everyone on the team, whoever you think is important, you can use this money. So if it's, like, their kids' little league or their daughter's cheerleading or whatever it was.
And listen, that little nugget right there is a culture keeper, baby. That one right there. So if you tell all of your team, hey, throughout 2027, you have $250 that I'm going to commit to you. So let me tell you what that does. When the dad shows up to his son's 4-H meeting, I'm from East Texas, but 4-H meeting, and he's able to say, well, I know my business will give $250. He didn't have to ask nobody. So now he looks like he runs something.
Right,
It
right.
gives him lots of authority to be like, "Yeah, my company lets me know." And I would just say, "Hey, this is what we said. Let's not make it political in nature. But you
Yeah.
want us to buy 20 braided bread things from your kid for jump rope for heart? Sure. But let me tell you what we're gonna do. Your kid's gonna come up to the office and we're gonna make a big deal. And then guess what? Everybody's going home with braided breads. Okay. Like, but again, that $250 is such a small inconvenience if you want to look at it that way to your budget, but it is such a big culture keeper when your team can look like they are the boss in the community. So that is for sure a cool technique there. But
Well,
also,
and you just also, like, said something really quietly, and it's leveraging these opportunities as visibility for other things, like, specifically your social media or your web page or, like, you didn't say, like, "Oh, we're just gonna give you this." You said, "We're gonna give you this, but we want you to come to the office so that we can take pictures of us doing it, or we can give you" obviously, like, it's not gonna work 100% of the time. If you got 50 team members, like, maybe not all 50 of their kids' sports teams are gonna come to the office, but how can you leverage these opportunities? Like, don't just sponsor the team, go and bring them Gatorade and,
oh, yes, girl.
like, come
Yes.
and set up a booth for 1 or 2 of the games, or ask the person whose kid it is on the team to wear their shirt and pass out whatever, or maybe their other kids will help you. Like, there's so many ways that you can leverage these.
Yes. And let me tell you that you have never experienced joy like a bunch of 8-year-olds going to the World Series for their baseball team and your mascot is there with a big tub of Gatorade and he's holding some balloons and you're just like chanting like go, go Dieball All-Stars or whatever. Y'all, it is magically fun. Video it, use it on social media, send it out at the bottom of your little next newsletter. We were proud to send off Lufkin All-Stars, right? These are not hard things to do. And honestly, those of you that don't have a large budget, Gatorade at a HEB or some Walmart
Costco.
yeah, I mean, you're less than $100. And I mean, listen, not every team is going to be appreciative of this, but you've got to kind of make it a deal. And I know that some of you don't have time. So this is what we teach our clients. What if we could get you to prioritize one giving back community involvement piece? What if we could get you to do one per quarter?
Yeah.
So that's 4 times a year that you're going to intentionally talk about and invest in your community. And then let's come up with some cool stuff. So that's literally how we help our clients like roll into it. And listen, they do the first one and they're like, okay, I can do one of these every month.
Yeah.
I'm going to do dogs next month. And it just kind of really kicks off. But also like, if you don't want to be that organized with it, like help after storms. So a major storm comes through, show up and serve hot dogs to the first responders. Host a thank you hamburger cookout for first responders, or be a donation collection site. Those are things that are very impactful, and those are such good PR for the company that you don't even know what's happening. But Google can buy you clicks all day long, but it cannot buy you the sense of community that showing up does.
I definitely want to talk about PR, but there's one more thing I want to just throw in there. If you feel like you don't have time, I promise you there's somebody on your team that does have time to execute this vision that you have. And so if it's somebody in the office, if it's somebody, there is somebody that you can say, hey, this is what I want you to look for. Find 2 or 3 of them, give them a call, find out what we need to do to get involved. You can delegate this work. So I know, and also like time expands and retracts to the way that we see it. So maybe it just needs to go in your calendar, and maybe you need to have an hour or 2 set aside, because I'm sure that we can all find, even the busiest of us can find an hour or 2 to just be there.
Everyone that does it is like, I don't know why I thought this was so hard. But let me tell you, millennials right now and Gen Zers, their biggest reason for work is to find purpose. So if you want to talk about things that will surprise you, is get someone on your team, or maybe a technician's wife or spouse that is, maybe they stay home. Maybe they would come in 2 times a month and help you do something for a small stipend or something. Like, there is a way to get this done. Where there's a will, there's a way. And most contractors tell me, well, I don't want to have to get in a mascot suit and I don't want to have to do it. You don't have to.
Don't do it then.
But I will tell you, when my family started our pest control company, my sister and brother-in-law, about a year ago, almost 2 years now, they themselves, the owners of the company, they are out at local festivals and fairs shaking hands and kissing babies, because that's what needs to be done right now. And people will sit in their desk chairs and they'll cross their arms, or like, I ain't doing it. That's fine. If I come into your market, I will have as much market share as you do in 18 to 24 months.
I think that a really great example of that right now is watching Tim Brown's Owl Roofing Company. Like, the amount of attention that company gets just because they're willing to like grassroots some easy marketing. I'm excited to get him back on my podcast to talk about it, because it is hard to start a business. But I say this all the time: the person who makes themselves look bigger, and you just look bigger by being a little bit louder, is going to get the customers before you do, if you're not willing to do the same thing. And sometimes that is just being willing to look a little bit silly on social media, being willing to get yourself in the costume, being willing to set aside 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday to get in front of the community. All of those things can be what makes you look like the obvious choice to people, even when you're just getting started.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, girl.
And it's hard to get market share. That's not cheap. That's expensive. But it could just be expensive with your time. So you need to decide which one of those you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think your time would actually be more impactful than your money in that sense.
Oh, no. No, yeah. For sure. And that's why I say marketing, that marketing mindset goes back to, You're doing lots of things that all added together bake this beautiful cake. No one serves you a piece of cake and it's really a teaspoon of vanilla, right? That vanilla added really good flavor, but it needed everything else to perform. That's the way the marketing mindset has to work, and community has to get in your mindset. That it is not if you want to. I'm just telling you, no longer, especially with AI, and maybe we'll have time to get into that, especially with AI and PR, community must move onto your radar.
We have a few minutes and I definitely want to jump into that. And one of the reasons I really want to jump into this is because it worked for my event. So this last year we had our first growth experience event, and we had somebody reach out and become one of our biggest sponsors because they found us using ChatGPT. When she told me that, I said, "What did Chat say? Send me a screenshot." And Chat had referenced back to ACHR News, which is a reputable news source that had posted our event on their website. And so I know, Crystal, you said you wanted to be sure to talk about PR for AI. And the truth is that as important as this off-site SEO was, it's seeming to be really important in AI search as well.
Oh, yes. So listen, I know, and listen, I love people. I love all the movers and shakers in AI. So right now I'm watching so many cool people, and I engage because as a CMO, I am not a master at any major tool, but what I am is a master of collecting all the right tools.
Right.
And so I know who to go deploy if I need, like right now, if I had a big social media question and quandary, I would be like, I'm calling Key Heart Marketing. I need to call them. They're a resource for me. So that's what makes a good CMO. So when I'm looking at AI, I'm following all of these things. And let me tell you, no matter who you listen to, there are a couple of things that AI has said to us over and over and over again. To get the AI recommendation, regardless of where and how you're searching, you need a couple of things: accurate information across everything, consistent branding across everything, authority, aka content that you're putting out, trust, aka content and reviews, expertise, aka content. You're going to see a pattern here. Again, strong customer reviews and a recognizable reputation. So you have to be known for something. So if you have a boring logo with nothing catching people's eye, not a good tagline, you're not connected in the community, you're not giving back, you're not getting reviews, you're not doing social media, AI doesn't even think you're legit.
Yeah, because and like everything that you just said all comes with creating a brand. Like that's a brand that you're creating. Either it's something that people recognize or you're just paying a whole lot of money for Google to put you first.
Yes. Yes. And listen, this is no longer is branding a luxury. And let me tell you, when I started with McWilliams in 2014, my dad really had a marketing mind. And this was right about the time that wraps and full wraps and branding was like moving into the HVAC industry. So my dad was an early adopter. And so when I came in, I kind of learned from him. And then I just started learning and learning and learning. And one of the things I did is, guys, within like no lie, 8 or 9 months, we were more recognizable than anyone else in our market. And I'm not just saying that. We had like 60% market share.
Yeah.
We were killing the game. But it was a lot of work. Okay, I'm not even going to lie. And not just money. It was boots on the ground. I was shaking hands, kissing babies and petting dogs every day.
Yeah.
And so now so this is how I've taught myself. And again, not a digital AI guru here, but this is what I've taught myself. Used to, back in the day, you know where we found who we needed to call? The yellow book, right? The phone.
Yeah.
Then the phone book moved to online. So I could say AC repair near me. When there was AC repair, it was on my website. Google said, this keyword matches this keyword on their website. Here's who we think. Here are the people that are answering your question. That's all Google would do, basically, right? Again, this is very, very, very simplistic approach, okay?
Yeah.
Won't come for me, all you digital experts. This is my crystal mind, okay?
Right.
But that's the gist of it, is you search, as long as that word was those terms were somewhere on your website, Google would show you up there somewhere. Now what's happened is AI has gotten smart, and they're able to combine all of these things to say they can actually infer
Yeah.
And that's where now they're like, hey, over here, they have a podcast talking about what they're talking about. They've won this award. They're a member of the Better Business Bureau. They're a member of their chamber. Look at this 5-star Google reviews they have. Look at these Yelp reviews. It processes all of that and says, this is who you want.
Yeah.
But right now, some of y'all are like, nope, nope, nope. AI, it's not like SEO is not dead. It is not dead. It's not dead. But now it's just a piece of what AI is inferring. It's a piece of it. Used to, it was all of it. And so now if you are not on social media and you're not making content, and if this is called fear mongering, then let it be. But if you're not doing people that are doing these local podcasts for their companies, it is content that Google's going to go, dang, these people are always talking about water heaters.
Right.
You're not even doing it hardly for people anymore.
I know.
I mean, and it's a mindset, it's a mind shift that you have to make to understand you've got to feed 3 different types of shoppers. You've got traditional shoppers that are going to go onto Google and search for whatever they're looking for. You've got people that are using the AI tools, the Perplexities, the Claudes, the AI, all that good stuff. And
Well,
now
and Google's automatically using AI now when you
Google,
search.
they don't care what y'all are doing, friends. They moved past you.
Yeah.
And y'all are like, well, I'm not even getting those AI recommendations. I can tell you why. Because you're still over here worried about keywords. And that's now just a part of it. It's not the whole thing. But now we also have to worry about this third shopper that's here now, but he's going to get more and more popular. And that's agent to agent searching. So many of y'all right now already use the Siri on your phone, the Google, the whoever's in your house, Alexa, whatever you've got. They are using those things now to do a lot of things. It's only a matter of time before those things need to be able to agent to agent. So why not be more forward thinking about what you can do with it? So that's what my encouragement is. No matter what I tell you right now, you need to be doing digital PR, meaning putting out blog. Basically, this is the new way to look at blogging is digital PR. Traditional PR, meaning your news station does things about you. You're submitting articles to your local rate. Anybody that has an online presence, anybody that'll backlink you, be the expert, be their go-to. So if right now, speaking of preparing for Q4, if you're in an area that's going to have sump pumps and snow plow, I don't live there. I live in East Texas. We have one season and it's
It's going to freeze in January.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. But right now you could start getting content ready for safety.
But you're right. I mean, if you're in a storm area and you have basements, your sump pumps need to be prepared. Are you ready for any freezes that might be coming up? I mean, here in Texas, we're still talking about heat until well into AC, well into October and November.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And right now you could start conditioning the news sources in your area to know you're the expert.
Yeah.
And a lot of you contractors that are listening, y'all, you don't have the time for this. It's literally why I created Lemon Seed. Unless you're really going to devote yourself to making time for it, I knew that contractors needed a resource. And honestly, it just becomes more and more true. 6 years later, it's more true than it was then.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
I can get off my soapbox if you would like. I can just take a step down now.
No, it's so many great things. Okay, so just wrapping up here, some great things that were talked about in this podcast. I think we're all around how to get more involved with your community, which I still think, and truly, if you're listening to this and you're not connected with Crystal, I'm going to tell you how to connect with her. But Crystal is my go-to of community events, getting involved, having events, branding, and talking about marketing. So she's a great marketing mind, a great person to have on your side. But you need to start thinking about your Q4 events, and you need to start thinking about how you are going to continue to be the answer that AI uses it. But at the same time, we don't want to have to rely on that all the time. And that's why your brand and your involvement is so important. Did I miss anything that we covered? Oh, and your marketing mindset.
Yes, marketing mindset for sure.
All right, Crystal. So at the end of the Kee To Growth podcast, we asked all of our guests to answer the same question. Maybe you remember. Here now in 2026. So what is the key to growth?
Content is going to be the key to growth. Branded content is going to be what will separate you in your market, no matter what.
Not
market you're in.
AI generated content.
No, friends, please be you. Or let your people be your people.
Yeah, not AI generated content. Use AI as a tool, not a crutch.
Amen. It's a resource, not a replacement.
Absolutely. All right. If people want to connect with you and with Lemon Seed, where can they find you?
Yeah, of course. I'm personally on all channels. So Crystal Williams, we have our own podcast, From the Yellow Chair. I'd love for you to listen to. Jen's going to be on there pretty soon. And then lemonseedmarketing.com is a great place. Lupita and I do a free discovery call to kind of interview each other to see if we're the right fit for you. But if you've been tired of marketing being on your plate, or you just want some advice, reach out to us and let us show you how you can have an affordable option for a complete marketing team. Or if you're looking to rebrand, we'd love to help you out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Crystal. This has been
Absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you.